Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and today we're reading for fire signs. The Sun, Moon and Rising 2022, and it's the Tiger, the year of the Tiger in the Chinese horoscope. So the first card I picked today was the card of Unity, which is 5. So you may be part of a spiritual community, an educational community, a gardening community. There could be all different types of things you want to join this year to get out and about and meet new people, new sets of people. Things that you're interested in, maybe an art community. It's saying here, you may be doing the right thing for the right reason, remaining true to your principles and being a spiritual teacher or guiding others as around you, counselling others. There's traditional ways of doing things, and that's good. At times you also need to take or make a break with tradition, old and new methods to break outside the box of thinking. With people you can trust, goals are met with resistance, maybe due to the method you are using to achieve them. Talk with a spiritual leader. Stay on the path of integrity. 6 of Swords is life moving forward. This might be going to a new city. See how he's navigating through the water and there's ice everywhere? So you may be moving to a cold climate. Or you may be moving to a warmer climate, depending which end of the globe you're at. So if you're at a sunnier climate, you might go somewhere hotter than that. Or if you're in a fairly warm climate, you might decide to go somewhere colder. And it also talks about thawing. Maybe you're thawing some old hurt or pain with some family or friends or people you've lost contact with. It is positive changes that you're setting sail and embrace the journey. So you could be travelling over water in your future, or metaphorically you could be a vision questing in an astral form. Relocating would be good for you right now. Past, you've got the King of Swords, which is represented by the Aquarius, Libra and Gemini. They're either public speakers or they're in the public eye. They are legal aid. They could be giving you advice on legal matters, and you may be seeking out them as their trusted lawyer or legal aid representative. They're Aquarian, Libra, Gemini. They're a fair-minded legal system, college professor, public speaker. They're unemotional and not affectionate. And then you've got in your recent past the World, which is Capricorn energy. It talks about moving into a restrictive area in the past. I guess with COVID and everything, that was restrictive enough. So the World is talking about restrictions in the past, a sense of completion. You might have gone through a journey of yourself, of learning how to navigate through uncharted territory. And just it says to be proud of yourself, because it's your path of wisdom and enlightenment. A whole new adventure is about to begin. So she's coming out of the world status, or that person could have been on stage or in the public eye in a world capacity, affecting the world. Then you've got here the 9 of Spring. So for Leo, the 9 of Spring is to do with conservationists or people that look after the planet. They look after our oceans, they stand up for our earth, they stand up for the wildlife. These are fighters of animals, people, places, oceans, environmentalists. So we could be consulting environmentalists now moving forward from COVID, because we're needing to figure out how to do things new, change how we used to do things, so that we've still got a world that is able to supply food and have clean fisheries and oceans and enough food for people and for the animals. So we're trying to find new ways of doing things with old ways. So it's something about protecting your system. You have a strong immune system right now, if you're a Leo. Plus, if you're a Leo, Sagittarian or Aries, this is for fire signs. It's also talking about your hard work, that you're creating things. It's maybe paying off now. A caveat, you may need a patent to protect your creative license. Release yourself. So you may have something that you're doing online that you need to protect, that's yours, that can't be stolen. Everyone's unique, they do their own thing. But I do find there's a lot of duplicity on the internet. I find things that I've written or said is duplicated somewhere else and someone else is reading. Whether it's intentional or not, it seems to go on. There's a little bit of copycatting, duplicity. Then we've got in the future, this is the future, there'll be a separation of sorts between you and someone else. So maybe you're married at the moment, in the future you decide to separate because of distance. You might be living in different countries and you're finding it really hard to make it work. It's very painful. Three of Swords. It's not something I'd wish upon anyone. It's grief, it's sadness, it's loss for fire signs. And then you've got here, so the Three of Swords is the ending, could be the ending of something. Negative people could be around you as well. Watch out for negative people. It could be an operation you may have to have, because that's to do with swords, so cutting through something. You need to maybe cut someone out or cut something out. You may have to look at separating how you used to live before from someone else or from family. You may decide to move away. Ace of Summer. This is to do with new love. So it's also about the doves. It's peaceful. It says it's the beginning of a new relationship, an intimate relationship, or the rebirth of a current one. So if you're single, it's a new relationship. If it's one you're currently in, there's a rebirth of that relationship. You may, learn to sort of live with your differences and your opinions and try to make it work. If you both have traditional and non-traditional views or values, that can be a real sticking point in a relationship. So you could be a Catholic and they could be Anglican. They have totally different viewpoints. It becomes really difficult when you have children together because of the differences in religion, the different belief systems you may have, as traditional as versus non-traditional. Very, very, very difficult. They used to forbid back in the 1950s any Catholic to marry an Anglican. It was very difficult to have that because it rarely worked. Okay, so then we've got here the Lovers. Is to do with, if you're single, you may be involved with a pilot or someone that's ex-military. And so it also symbolises courage, devotion, commitment to the marriage. And it says here it's an opposites attracting. You may be earth signs with a fire sign, or earth signs, you may be fire signs with earth in your chart. And you might be seeing a water sign. There could be just a little bit of play there. You have that earthy quality, but you've also got that fiery quality. And you also have some water in your charts if you're fire signs, which is quite emotional underneath it all. You may be quick to get angry, but then quick to forgive, and then very emotional when it comes to love. Maybe that's why you don't enter into it so quickly, so readily, or very, very careful. The King of Pentacles is very cautious before entering into any relationship. They really want to know the ins and outs of you and know what sort of person you are before they'll even dip their toe in the water, so to speak. The Cup runneth over. This is a Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo around you is in your future. A good personal company to work for, a thriving career. Midas touch, great in the business world. They're here to save the earth, manage hundreds of employees and still take out the trash. They're charming to a fault, will help anyone and loves animals. They're animal lovers. Then you've got in the future the Sun. The Sun represents learning, a new sense of, people might want to start a new course this year. It also talks about happiness. This is the happiest card in the deck. Talks about feeling like a kid again, doing something that makes you feel like a child. Maybe you're seeing someone that is very childlike, or you may be childlike in your own energy. You may have some sort of Gemini placement. Gemini placement is so much fun. They like games. They like to be amused. They get bored quickly. So the thing with a Gemini sign or rising sign can cause them to be lots of fun, but when there's no fun and it's boring and it's whatever, they get agitated. You've got to keep them constantly busy. That's what I find with Gemini rising. I've got two sons that have Gemini in their chart, and they both get bored very quickly. And that's the thing, you've got to keep them occupied, keep them moving, keep them doing something, keep them watching, learning, making action. Action is very important to one of them. The other one's more has to be mentally challenged. So it's like you've got to keep them busy that way. You may be a teacher. You may have teaching in your background, or you may have taught your children certain things, or you may be teaching others how to do tarot cards. There's a teacher aspect in this fire chart. Most fire signs have very good, or Leos especially, are very good teachers. They're good with children. They just know how to get to or around difficult children. They've got a knack to them, and so you don't ever force a difficult child to do something they don't want to do. That's just like waving a red flag at a bull. So you need to tiptoe around them, tiptoe through the tulips, as my uncle says, and gradually, slowly catch the monkey by not forcing an issue, by not going, you must do this, you must do that. Fire signs will just arc up at that. It's like waving the red flag. So it says here, the sun is amazing ideas, gratitude attracts blessings, happiness and knowledge. So it's a really good future for you. Now I'm just going to pull some significators. This is the deck that I'm using today, is Doreen, Virue and Radleigh Valentine, the Fairy Tarot. And I'm also using the map, the Enchanted map by Colette-Baron-reid. I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette-Baron-reid. And those I've had for quite some time. I also like to refer to, when I'm stuck on something, being a psychic medium, Mitchell Coombes' Signs from Spirit. He's amazing. If you can get to see him this year, with COVID and everything, it's been really hard. But he talks about true life experiences with the afterlife. He sees the dead. He's outstanding. And when I went to see him, he was in Newcastle and he signed my book. I was so happy. It was a big thing. And he signed it personally. I was so happy. It says, "May the angels always be with you. Blessings, Mitchell." And I thought that was really sweet. He's just got some beautiful pictures in the book. And he talks about sensing spirit. He talks about colours as well. Sensing loved ones that have passed over. You might see a smiley face on your mobile. You may see a feather. A soft kiss of the breeze or a warm touch that makes you tingle. A signs a departed loved one is standing and sending comfort in times of need. So they are around us all the time. The thing is, people don't realise is that once someone passes over, they're still there. They're not at the gravestone. You don't need to go to the graveyard to pay your respects, as Mitchell says. They're with you the minute you wake up, the minute you walk out the door. But sometimes they find it easier to visit in our sleep when the mind is most relaxed. I had a visit from my brother last night and he was telling me what sort of field of work I should go into, because I'm just lost at the moment what to do besides this. And, a 9-to-5 job or something that pays the bills. And he was telling me that I should do something with caring for someone, like a cavalry carer or something to do with that. I was looking, and he was in a shirt. He was showing me the shirt he was in. He was becoming a carer. He was in a aqua blue shirt, like this colour. And he was talking to me, and I gave him a hug. So I was missing him and wanting to see him. And COVID's prevented a lot of that. We've had people not be well. I haven't been well. I'm starting to get better. It prevents you from visiting family and friends during the Christmas season. And I couldn't give the presents I wanted to give because I couldn't get to them to give it to them. So I'm going to have to wait till the signs pass. You may have an ache here and there. You may have tiredness. There's all different symptoms, but it's not all. I haven't got 6 of the 7 symptoms. I've just got 1 or 2. And it's just like the lingering effects of having, being like having a flu. That's all I pretty much had as a flu. It was negative. But, people have different symptoms. And it can still be signs of it, but not. And so this deck here is the Wisdom of... it is the Enchanted map. Ooh, there we go. Magical Map Shifter. That's the Magician card. It's like the Magician card. It's juggling. What do you want? It's also like the 7 of Cups, where he's got a compass, he's got a flying horse, he's got a magic carpet, he's got a genie's lamp. It's like, what do you want? He's got a pot of gold. He's like figuring, like I said, he's figuring out what he wants to do next. Maybe he's just in a flux because we've just come out of one year and moved into a new year. So we've got a new set of energies around us and trying to decide which cup we need to drink from, which is going to satisfy us for work or for life. Oh, Spirit of a Place. Okay, that's a good card to get. Talks about energy during, when you're walking around the trees or walking around an area. Like I was crossing a bridge the other day in Mayfield. It's a really old bridge. It's been built there since 1800s, and they had the floods there, and there's like remnants of the floods, like along that great long walk into Throsby Creek. There's like old totem poles. There's also like this place where it's been built, and it's got when the floods happened, bits of different things there to sort of represent the flooding of the area. And that bridge is really old, and I find that I can feel there's lots of energy on that bridge, and that's where I make my wishes from, because I feel that it's old energy, but it's also got new energy crossing it. And so the bridge is usually bridged from the mind to the soul. You've got to cross that bridge bit by bit. It's not easy. And like taking a leap of faith with love, it's a leap. They call it lover's leap because you've got no safety net. And most people don't like the fact that there's no certainty with love. That's why people are reluctant to get into it. Myself included. Now we've got here, Wisdom of the Oracle. Fire signs are the ones that start the magic. They're the ones that are the spark of the divine, which is why I've put the candles up. Because if without the spark, you can't make a fire. So Aries are the great magicians of the zodiac. They are the ones that manifest things, which is why I think I've got the magician, the magical shapeshifter. We've got the Treasure Island. That's a good card too. Some of you may be wanting to visit an island, go on holiday somewhere. You just need to recharge. A road trip would be so good because lots of fire signs like to get out in the open. They like to drive. They've got so much passion and so much drive that by being outside in the open, in the fresh air, by walking along the beach, by walking in the wilderness, they get a big sense of peace, and it's peaceful for them. They're not good to being trapped inside, and you'll find most fire signs are very fiery. And most of those people are the protesting, being stuck in home when we had lockdown. Because it's not in their nature to be locked up in a bubble or in a prison. That's just not, it's not them. Lots of people are moving this year. I've been talking to so many people about wanting to move because they've been stuck in their place for 6 months. So there'll be a lot of moving and removal trucks happening. I keep seeing removal vans there, so I'm guessing it's either for me or for my son. He's talking about moving. Just to go somewhere where there's new energy, new job, something better, bigger and better. Sometimes moving country, state or town, you might get a different perspective and you may find what you're looking for. It can be healing to move. New energy. Oh, flexibility. Some of you may be starting a gym membership, getting into running or getting into some yoga or some sort of movement. It's really important to keep moving. I think if you don't move, that's when you start getting arthritis and things like that. So we've got the magical shapeshifter 52. When the magical shapeshifter arrives, it comes as a mission to make you aware of the people who come into your life to impact your personal growth. Perhaps you may meet a soulmate whose presence invites you to be the best you that you can be, or someone who leads you out of your difficulty and into a place of safety or success. Pay attention to those individuals who cross your path today and cause you to reflect on your journey. Be awake and aware that you'll recognize them for the important change agents they are. Your whole perspective about who you are and why you're here will shift. The magical map shifter always initiates you into a better version of yourself. So you may have made a New Year's resolution and want to do something new. You may decide that you wanted to, start a new hobby, a new course. I still got Christmas things up, but I thought that was really pretty. I got it from a dollar shop in town. It's just got little charms on it, little reindeers. I just thought it was really pretty. It reminds me of the bracelet I used to have many years ago. It's a Thomas Sabo bracelet, and I had it for a very long time. Black tourmaline. So it was made out of black tourmaline, and it was cut into crystal-like objects. And the reason I loved it so much is because it represented protection. Black tourmaline on your wrist is protecting you from bad energy or other people's energies. And it only broke when I was moving home to my hometown, and I wore it for protection, and I didn't need protecting anymore. It broke that week that I was moving. So it served its purpose. Your whole perspective is going to change. The magical map shifter always initiates you into a better version. So you're going to move into a healthier version of yourself. 4. I'm on a fitness kick this month. It's all about health. This year's going to be about health, keeping healthy. Spirit of a place. Our ancient ancestors believed that every place has a spirit looking after it or embodying it, just as we have a soul. The plants, trees, birds, mountains, and rivers have their own essences. When the spirit of place arrives in your reading, it says that the answer to your query is the overreaching theme of your circumstances. Is your question about a struggle? The answer is to relax and let go of your need to control the situation. If your inquiry relates to finding love, then embody love rather than long for it. If you love yourself, then spirit will find you love. Yeah, that's it. A lot of people live in their heads when it comes to love, and they're scared to take that leap. Once you find the essential truth that underlies your question and then name it, you'll discover the answer you've been seeking. Your greatest power is being authentic, just being you. Then we've got flexible. 19. Alright, so we've got here teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. A tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it is in just shambles, like the cyclone we had in America. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware, and at this time others will be flexible with you too. In every relationship, it's important to be open to new experiences and learning new things. Letting go of rigidity is what's required right now. You don't always have to be right all the time, do you? It's okay to be a happy compromise. You can still get your needs met, I should say. It's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. The appearance of this card in a reading could also signal that you have met someone new who may not be your type, but who will turn out to be so special that you can easily release your old ideas about what sort of partner is right for you. Be flexible. You'll be happy you made that choice. Even when you have a clear vision of how you're going to manifest something, what it will look like, who you'll share it in it with, and what will then be available to you, will still need to relax and open up to other possibilities. Spirit may have better plans for you. It could be a job you hadn't thought of, a new source of money, or a new stream of money, or some other opportunity that eluded your imagination. Be flexible and remind yourself, this was something better manifest for me right now. Then be willing to bend a little. Enjoy the miraculous results. And then we've got Treasure Island. 9. And setting out an intention is setting out a positive or negative intention. So I've put up vanilla, white lily and jasmine, and a peach one. So we've got a little bit of sweetness with a bit of spice. You can't have everything always sugar. It can sometimes be spicy in order to make it spicier. Maybe you need to spice up your relationship, trying new things. 9. Where are we? The law of attraction, bringing dreams into fruition, the results of positive thinking made manifest, appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains and the sharing of good fortune. You've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. Some of you may need to take a lotto ticket. You've uncovered the map to buried treasure and the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognise when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase where all along hard work navigating your inner life is paying off. Externally, in all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. So if you're buying Christmas presents, you're giving the gift of giving, which in turn comes back to you, because you've given something. Someone usually reciprocates and gives you something as well, even if it's just time or energy or counselling. Sometimes I counsel my son on the phone, and that's giving him something tangible he can use that I found works for me. So that's like a go-to place. And it just says here, your relationship is a treasure, providing you even more than you need. but you may not see that right now. No matter how long you've been together, you and your partner are always discovering hidden gems about your personality and yourselves and each other. Now is a time of discovery. It's as if everything is in sync and everything is new. Romance blooms and love is in the air. You could be assured that this partnership will bring you great gifts and valuable lessons. Keep your heart open. The message of this card is to celebrate love and what it teaches you. Be confident that success is yours. Your ideas are all hitting the mark, and you've been in a true manifesting spirit right now. Hence the magician energy. The appearance of this card in a reading indicates that your dreams and aspirations align with concrete signs of prosperity in the world of form. This is a very auspicious and fortunate time for business, creative projects with flourish, inspiration strikes. Share your wealth with others too. Generosity and gratitude should lead you now. Wow, so there's going to be some sort of jackpot you're going to hit. Maybe look at a sweepstakes. It may not be lotto. It could be something as little as betting on a horse race, or you may have luck with horses rather than numbers. You may get numbers shown as coordinates. I got shown numbers and coordinates, and every number and coordinate I got was an address to a place. What I got was 0515, which was the number I had for a job. And it was sending me to Singapore. Then I punched in another couple of numbers. I kept seeing it. It came out as Germany or Spain or Japan. And these were recently. And after that, I'd actually Googled that they'd had a few earthquakes in that area where I got the numbers, the coordinates to the places, the countries that I was getting in my sleep. That's the sort of things I do. I sleep and see things in my sleep, or I'll go walking and spot a number, and that number means something for me. I have to Google it on a map. It's a map coordinate. So sometimes where you need to look is not within your country. It might be outside of your country. Some of you may have to look to a new country to find your happiness. That's all I have for you, fire signs.